Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 49ers Golden Ticket. My name is Gabriel, and today we are going to use our quarterback play-by-play back to recap that Week 7 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, which many felt was a measuring stick to see how we stack against Super Bowl teams. We didn't perform well. We got to take a look at the offense and talk about what's going on there and what the problem is, and maybe we can find a solution. We are going to talk some of the trade rumors surrounding the 49ers right now. And then, of course, we look ahead to our Week 8 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, which is typically a get-right game for the 49ers, but this time it might be a trap. Stay tuned. Hey, guys, looks like you made it to the quarterback play-by-play back. This is where we go over the film from the game from the quarterback's perspective. I do attempt to highlight some big plays and game-changing moments, but of course there's going to be things that I miss or things that maybe you want to see that I didn't add. If that's the case, please feel free to leave something in the comments or hit us up over at 49ers GT on Twitter and let us know what more we can do to provide quality content to you guys, because that's all we really want to do is just try to make your experience better while still delivering good information. All right, guys. Here it is. Garoppolo, short right to Kittle for 18 yards. Kittle, 7 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, incomplete, short left to George Kittle. Pass sailed high. 49ers new acquisition, Christian McCaffrey, gets the carry up the middle for 10 yards. 49ers keeping both backs involved, Jeff Wilson to the left guard for 12 yards. 49ers doing a good job on the first possession using the run to set up the pass. Garoppolo, short right to Ayuk for 6 yards. Ayuk 10 yards after the catch. 49ers on third down. Garoppolo, incomplete, short right to Ayuk. Ayuk, pass dropped. Robbie Gould puts one through for 30 yards. 49ers settle for 3 points. 49ers defense on Kansas City's third down. Patrick Mahomes pass over the middle, tipped by Deshaun Gibson, interception by Talanoa Hufanga. After a run on first down, Jimmy Garoppolo, play action pass, deep left for Debo for 22 yards. Garoppolo drops back. McGlinchey gets beat. He's got pressure in his face. Garoppolo throws it up for Ray McLeod. Touchdown 49ers. Robbie Gould puts it through for the extra point. 49ers up 10-0. The Chiefs offense, after 8 plays and 65 yards on the San Francisco 8-yard line, Mahomes pitch to Mecole Hardman, 8-yard touchdown. Extra point attempt by the Chiefs is good. 49ers lead 10-7. Garoppolo, incomplete, short left to Ayuk. Garoppolo, short middle to Ayuk for 21 yards. Ayuk, 12 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, short left to Christian McCaffrey for 13 yards. McCaffrey, 17 yards after the catch. Christian McCaffrey gets the ball on a handoff, runs left, picks up 12 yards. Garoppolo, short right to Kittle for 3 yards. Garoppolo, incomplete, short left to Ayuk. On 3rd and 7 at the Kansas City 24, Garoppolo, sacked for -8 yards. McGlinchey pushed all the way back into Garoppolo's lap. Garoppolo gets pummeled. Robbie Gould puts it through for 50 yards. 49ers settle for 3, 13-7. Chiefs at the 49ers 25, 9 plays and 65 yards later. Jet sweep right to Mecole Hardman. Hardman, 25-yard touchdown. Chiefs put it through for the extra point. Chiefs lead, 14-13. Garoppolo, short middle to Kittle for 9 yards. Garoppolo, incomplete, deep left to Danny Gray. Gray ran a bad route. Garoppolo, deep right to Kittle for 34 yards. Garoppolo, short middle to Ayuk for 17 yards. Garoppolo, sacked for -4 yards. Tight end didn't chip the rusher. 2-minute warning in the first half. On third down, Garoppolo, incomplete, pass tipped at the line of scrimmage. 49ers field goal position for Robbie Gould. Instead, penalty, 49ers. 49ers, after the penalty on 4th and 19, forced a punt. Wisnowski kicks a beauty. Sky Moore muffs the catch, recovered by 49ers Samuel Womack. 49ers take over at the Kansas City 12. Garoppolo, short right to Debo for 6 yards. Garoppolo on 3rd and 3 at the Kansas City 5. Trent Williams gets beat. Garoppolo throws up a prayer instead of throwing it away. Interception, Kansas City. 8 plays and 73 yards later, the Chiefs attempt a field goal from the 21. Miss. 49ers still down by 1, 13-14 going into the half. 49ers going into the half has only called 13 run plays, but 21 pass plays. 49ers blunder on special teams, gives up 48 yards to Isaiah Pacheco and an additional 15 on the penalty by Jennings. 3 plays later, 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 16, Clyde Edwards-Helaire takes the handoff for a 16-yard touchdown. Extra point is good, Kansas City up 21-13. Garoppolo, incomplete, short right to Debo. Garoppolo, short right to Juice for 17 yards. Juszczyk, 14 yards after the catch, breaks finger on this play. Garoppolo, short left to Debo for 4 yards. Garoppolo with a free rusher in his face, short right to Ayuk, 4 yards. Garoppolo on 3rd and 7, incomplete, short right to Kittle, dropped. Robbie Gould, 49-yard field goal, it's good for 3. 49ers 16, Kansas City 21. 8 plays, 71 yards later, Mahomes, 4-yard touchdown to Justin Watson to extend the Kansas City lead. Extra point is good, Kansas City 28, San Francisco 16. Garoppolo with pressure in his face, deep right to Ayuk for 19 yards. Penalty on McGlinchey. Not only did he give up the pressure, he gave up the penalty. Garoppolo, short right to Ayuk for 13 yards. Ayuk, 9 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, incomplete, short right to Kittle. Penalty on Kansas City, defensive pass interference. Jeff Wilson, up the middle for 18 yards. Unfortunately, 49ers, 2 players called for holding. Christian McCaffrey back on the field. Garoppolo, short right to CMC for 11 yards. McCaffrey, 11 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, short right to Juwan Jennings for 11 yards. Jennings, 8 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, short right to Kittle for 19 yards. Kittle, 17 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, short right to Ayuk for 12 yards. Ayuk, 5 yards after the catch. Garoppolo rolls out. Incomplete, short left to Ayuk. Garoppolo, incomplete, short right to Wilson. Dropped. Garoppolo, short middle to Kittle for 15 yards. Touchdown, Niners. Gold with the extra point. San Francisco 23, Kansas City 28. Mahomes sacked by Nick Bosa for -6 yards. Big play alert on 3rd and 11. Marquez Valdes-Scantling beats Charvarius Ward for a 57-yard bomb. 1st and goal, another jet sweep to Hardman for a 3-yard touchdown. Kansas City's extra point is good, extends the lead 35-23. Special teams gives up bad field position. Garoppolo from his own 5, short left to Kittle for 4 yards. Garoppolo sacked for -3 yards on 2nd down. Garoppolo from his own end zone rolls out right instead of throwing it away, takes the sack. Safety. Chiefs go up another 2. Chiefs, 4 plays and 27 yards later, Mahomes finds a wide open Juju Smith-Schuster. He takes it in for a 45-yard touchdown. Chiefs extend the lead. Extra point is good. Chiefs 44, San Francisco 23. Garoppolo, short left to Debo for 9 yards. 49ers in the no huddle. Garoppolo, incomplete, short right to Debo. 49ers on 3rd and 1. Garoppolo, QB sneak for 3 yards. 49ers continue in the no huddle. Garoppolo, short middle to Juice for 8 yards. Garoppolo scrambles left for 14 yards. McGlinchey gave up the pressure that forced the scramble. McGlinchey called for holding. Garoppolo, short right to Juice for 9 yards. Juszczyk, 7 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, short left to Jennings for 13 yards. Jennings, 7 yards after the catch. Garoppolo, sacked for -8 yards. Fumbles, recovered by Kansas City. Pressure gave up by McGlinchey. Chiefs put in their backups. 49ers forced a quick 3-and-out. Chiefs punt. 49ers follow suit. Brock Purdy enters the game as a backup. Deep left to Ray McCloud for 20 yards. Purdy, incomplete, short middle to Ty Davis-Price. Purdy, nowhere to go, everyone covered, scrambles left for 1 yard. Purdy, short left to Ayuk for 9 yards. Ayuk, 5 yards after the catch. Purdy, incomplete, short left to Jennings, dropped. Purdy, incomplete, short left to Ty Davis-Price. Purdy, deep right to Ray McCloud for 22 yards. 2 minutes left in the game. Purdy, incomplete, deep right to Danny Gray. Purdy, short middle to Ray McCloud for 15 yards. Purdy, intended for Jauan Jennings, deep middle, interception, Kansas City, touchback. Kansas City kneels 3 times to end the game. Kansas City wins 44-23. And there you have it, guys. A pretty sad loss of 44-23 to the Kansas City Chiefs. It didn't feel as competitive as we'd all hoped. Early in the game, we went up 10-0, and I thought from there we would get the run game going, but unfortunately we didn't. The run game hasn't seemed to be as big a part of this 49ers offense as we'd all previously anticipated. And I think a lot of teams in the NFL had anticipated, because the way they play us is to stop the run typically. But right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely passing more than we are running. And if I'm not mistaken, somewhere along the first half, the stats were 14 runs to 32 pass attempts. And that's just not good enough for this team. I understand there's the potential that Kyle Shanahan's adjusting the offense to fit his playmakers, but at the same time, his defense is on one leg, metaphorically, of course, but there's just so many injuries over there. And honestly, injuries overall along this team. And throughout that game, we had many players playing on one leg, I guess you could say. Right now, we have Charvarius Ward with an injury, a groin injury, and he tried to tough it out. We had Nick Bosa with a groin injury. He tried to tough it out. We had Jimmy Ward with a broken hand. He played with a cast. We got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's injured, coming off that shoulder surgery. We got Mike McGlinchey coming off his surgery and injury and is not playing well. We've got Dre Greenlaw, who's got an injury. We've got Trent Williams, who's coming off a high ankle sprain. Deebo Samuel, who now picked up a hamstring injury. I mean, this team is literally limping, and they did not look good. The 49ers are 1-30 when trailing by 3 points or more going into the fourth quarter. Or the 49ers are 7-30 when losing at halftime by any amount. So for example, when it was 13-14 heading into halftime against the Chiefs, well, chances are that we were going to lose that game. Now, these are all statistics since 2017 when Kyle Shanahan took over this team. Let me just throw one more number out there that I've been seeing recently. The 49ers are 42-46 under Kyle Shanahan. That makes him not a winning coach. And that's something that is almost a tough pill to swallow, because you would think with Kyle Shanahan comes a lot of pedigree, a lot of experience, a lot of intelligence, but unfortunately it seems like Kyle has not had success. But I'm not saying Kyle can't learn, adapt, and grow, because he can. Unfortunately, it's just coming at the expense of this really great roster right now. And that's why in weeks past, I have recommended that maybe the 49ers go and they look for an offensive coordinator, someone who can call plays on the sideline, because we are continuing to have issues. It's not fun to watch. And it's definitely something the Niners need to get right quickly. Other things the Niners aren't doing right now. For example, Christian McCaffrey was on the field for much of those first scripted 20 to 25 plays. Now, every game, the coach scripts about 20 to 25 plays to get his offense rolling. And then from there, the team makes adjustments and calls the plays on the fly, right? Because you adjust to what the defense is doing, what your opponent is doing, and then you call what you believe is best. Well, we're definitely struggling in that department. And something that really bugged me was that we didn't even use Christian McCaffrey's window dressing during that game once the script was over. It seemed like the 49ers got some explosive plays with CMC on the field because the defense was forced to watch him. But then when the script was over, CMC was not on the field. And there were players such as Jimmy Garoppolo who said that, I don't care what it takes, I'll tell him the play. I'll tell him what to do on each play. Just put him out there. And those are the kinds of things that are really starting to become worrisome. Because also players like Kittle, are they pointing the finger? He came out in his press conference and talked about effort and getting players, the right players, the ball in the right situations and playing complementary football and those types of things. And who's Kittle pointing the finger at? We know he's giving all his effort. We know he's doing what his part needs to be done. But that means the people around him are failing. And he's noticing. And maybe he's pointing at the coach. And that's not good for this locker room. And we can't forget about the Jimmy Garoppolo, your plays suck, man. That's just really unfortunate that these things are happening. Also, I mean, on top of the other ways that we're getting out coached, the 49ers in 4 of our 7 games this year have 7 or more penalties. That's just unacceptable. Those are absolutely drive killers. But there's other issues there as well. I don't know why the 49ers seem to give up huge plays on 3rd and long. It's as if we're not prepared. It's tough to watch. Tough to watch or not, let's go with the old Aaron Rodgers additive of RELAX. Relax. And that's because it's not so bad right now. The 49ers are 3-4. We are undefeated in our division, and we have another division game this week. And last year, the 49ers started 3-5 and then went on to the NFC Championship. And of course, that leaves room for optimism. The 49ers are still undefeated in their division. They should be able to win the division, which means they're going to make the playoffs. But are they real playoff contenders? I don't know yet. I hope that we find our rhythm by then. But that's something to be optimistic about. How about DeMeco Ryans getting a coaching lesson from Andy Reid on Sunday? So hopefully DeMeco Ryans can learn from that and grow and become an even better defensive coordinator and get this defense back to being number 1. Jimmy Garoppolo, also he's getting better. See, this offseason, he wasn't at the facility. He technically didn't have a playbook. I don't know how much of an excuse that is. But he didn't have the offseason program to play with the Niners. He thought he was going to be elsewhere. He thought he was going to be rehabbing. But none of those things happened. He's still a 49er. He's a starting quarterback, and he's not fully recovered from his injury. But as the year goes on, he should continue to get healthier as he gets back into a rhythm. And then, of course, as he learns some of these newer players, as well as lean on some of the new players, such as Christian McCaffrey. So the 49ers do have reasons to be optimistic. So how do we fix it? We got to bring in a right tackle. Mike McGlinchey was all over the tape getting whooped last week, and he's just not healthy. I don't want to call him a bad player because I don't think he is, but he's not healthy. Jordan Mills, somebody that we had here in the offseason, somebody who spent time with us during training camp, somebody who has our playbook or had our playbook, so is familiar with it. Jordan Mills at right tackle, Daniel Brunskill at center. Now, Eric Armstead, as mentioned, has been banged up, and the 49ers, with Eric Armstead in the lineup, have not given up a 100-yard rusher in 15 consecutive games. But this year, that's not the case because Eric Armstead has been out of the lineup. So we need to get somebody in there. And Ndamukong Suh is a free agent who potentially would want to join a team that has ring aspirations. So why wouldn't he want to come here and play with Chris Kosarick again? Ndamukong Suh, Jordan Mills, and then move Daniel Brunskill to center. And that'll wrap it up for the free agent portion. But let's talk about some of the trade rumors that are circling around. Mac Jones got benched for rookie Bailey Zappe, or Zappe. I'm not quite sure. But does that make Mac Jones available? Tom Brady he's not, that team in Tampa is not playing well. And he's still a good quarterback. Does he want out of Tampa Bay? Kirk Cousins, he's supposedly available. So, what moves could the Niners potentially make? There's rumors of three-way trades. There's rumors of Jimmy straight across for guys like Tom Brady, right? Because with Jimmy Garoppolo in the building in Tampa Bay, that gives Tampa Bay a future quarterback, and it gives Tom Brady a potential to go chase the ring. So that's the reason why a lot of people could see that one working out. But to get Tom Brady into the building and then into our offense with this playbook, the playbook is complicated. We're trading for a quarterback halfway through a season, so he doesn't have a preseason with us, a training camp with us. Jimmy Garoppolo, for example, when he got traded here in 2017, he didn't play for those first few weeks while he was here. And then once Kyle Shanahan felt that he was comfortable with Jimmy, Jimmy came out and balled. All in all, though, I don't see any of those trades actually happening. Jimmy Garoppolo is the leader of this team right now, and a lot of the players in the locker room absolutely believe in him. Jimmy has been a good soldier for us, and yes, he isn't the best quarterback, but he isn't the 49ers' problem. He did have the trifecta against the Chiefs, took a safety, fumbled the ball, threw an interception. Not very many quarterbacks can say they've done that in a single game. Garoppolo overall is playing well for us. It's just the other things are not falling into place. And when everything seems to be out of whack, this team isn't winning. It's not just on Garoppolo's shoulders, it's on the coaches. So next year, how does this team expect to get better after they traded away 4 picks for Christian McCaffrey, our first round pick for Trey Lance, and then our 6th round pick we traded for Charles Omenihu, who is balling. Now, I do want to say that I would love to see the 49ers continue to make trade moves for players like Charles Omenihu for those late round picks. But a lot of people feel the 49ers draft next year is already a wash because we did give up so many picks, but we still have 8 picks next year, even though they've given up a total of 5 picks between Trey Lance, Charles Omenihu, and Christian McCaffrey. The other side of that coin is potentially the risk of the salary cap situation. Now, Jimmy should come off the books, which should open up some more, but Nick Bosa is going to be a $30 million a year player. What about Brandon Ayuk? We just don't have the current cap space, although the TV deals and everything is going to raise the NFL cap number, so hopefully the 49ers will be able to fit everyone in. But also as those numbers raise, so do players' salaries overall. We saw a huge jump in wide receiver salary this last offseason. The 49ers cap situation is going to be very interesting looking forward. Currently, we only have $4 million on the books. And of course, that takes us right into week 8 against the Los Angeles Rams. Apparently, the St. Louis City, though, is going to make, I think, $850 million off of the LA Rams for moving that stadium. That's crazy. But that is not my business. That is all their business. Anyways, the Los Angeles Rams will be at home this time, so the 49ers will be going to their stadium for another matchup after the Rams are coming off a bye week, though. So they have had 2 weeks to prepare for the 49ers, and the 49ers are coming off of 2 huge losses from the Atlanta Falcons to the Kansas City Chiefs. So how do they respond? Well, the Rams need to get back to their running ways, I would assume, but there seems to be all this drama surrounding their running back, Cam Akers. He's not at the facility right now. There's been trade rumors saying that they're willing to trade him, but then there's also rumors saying that they're willing to have him come back and play running back for them. So I don't know if it's a personal relationship that's going on or if he's just displeased with his situation there. I'm not sure, but that to me means that the Rams' run game is going to struggle. And if that's the case, Nick Bosa is going to eat, Charles Omenihu is going to eat, Drake Jackson's going to eat. This is going to be another sack-tastic game for the 49ers. And that means Matthew Stafford's going to be forced to air it out, take a lot of hits. He's already a little bit unhealthy, somewhat injured. Cooper Kupp's also a little bit banged up. The time off probably did them well. But if they're going to come into this game and not be able to run the ball still, I don't see it getting any better for the Rams. And that's why I do want to predict another big win by the 49ers, because the 49ers should be getting closer to finding their rhythm than the Rams. The Rams have personal issues going on. The 49ers have borderline coaching issues as well as injury concerns, but players are coming back healthier. So my prediction to this game is the Niners win big. I'm going to say 37-23. Let's go. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Golden Ticket. I appreciate all of your time today. I hope you guys were able to learn something. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or as mentioned before, if you ever want to get on the show, don't hesitate to leave a comment or hit us up over at 49ers GT. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's go, Niners.